me a favour, do me a favour, do me a favour.
Billy Joe Saunders told the cop to go F his mother. Before we move on with the story, Billy's got to be careful, yeah? You see, when you say stuff like that to judges and cops, be careful. Billy Joe Saunders, 36 years of age. Morris John Smith, 36 years of age. Noah Stanley, 54. And another Noah Stanley, probably his son, 26, were convicted after dogs used for hunting were found in their possession and videos of the crime were found on their phones. Now, he's been sentenced, Billy Joe Saunders, after driving hundreds of miles to use dogs to chase and kill hares in farmland. Now, he's going to have to pay a hefty fine and he's going to have to do some community service. Sight dogs used for hunting were found in his possession and videos of the crime in action were found on the phones of Saunders and his three co-defenders, who have also been sentenced this week. On October the 9th last year, police received a call that occupants of a silver Mercedes ML were hair coursing at Welland Bank near Market Deeping in Lincolnshire. The vehicle was spotted by an officer as well as multiple members of the public who called in reports that a vehicle matching the description was speeding, just coming off the fens covered in mud and filled with people who were acting suspiciously. 6 people were found inside the vehicle designed to carry 5, 2 of which were children aged 13 and 16. I mean, talk about bringing attention to yourself. I'm sure with that Canelo purse, unless he spent all of it, he could have got a decent MPV instead of playing sardines in a small vehicle. The boxing comeback at 36, judging by the condition he's in, it's not going to happen. And if it does, it's likely to end in disaster. Billy will come back as a slugger, as opposed to the very good boxer he was, and he'll be very human, very hittable, very beatable. A Eubank fight? What? Can he make 12 stone? Can he make 12 stone 7? At best, he'll probably get down to cruiser, but he can't fight in cruiserweights. He'll have to be calling out Darren Till and Jake Paul. It's been over 4 years since he was stopped by Canelo in 8. And when you look at this week's events, particularly at the paths of both men, Canelo, highest paid boxer in the highest profile fight this Saturday, while Billy is traipsing round the countryside doing what they call hair coursing, cursing at policemen. I mean, if you listen to the video, I can't play the audio, it's just foul-mouthed obscenity. It's just crazy. Look at Billy's 2 biggest rivals. Canelo, huge fight on Saturday. Chris Eubank Jr., huge fight in November with Conor Benn. The best Billy got with a supporting role overlooking Chris getting his hands wrapped in the first fight. And even then, Billy made a tit of himself, didn't he? The way he was talking to Napa. And what's Billy doing? He actually beat Chris back in 2014. He beat Andy Lee for the world title in 2015. Now look at Andy Lee. Top boxing trainer. All the top guys he's fought seem to get on with their life, but Billy's struggling. It's almost like he hasn't evolved.
Do me a favour, do me a favour, do me a favour.
So, Stefy Bull, who actually fought Amir Khan and lost, has been jailed for 10 years. They'll knock off 15% of his sentence due to his guilty plea before trial.
Then my moms told the judge, my son's a good child. Then he laughed at my mother and said they'd take us to trial.
Judge Peter Hampton said he and Benjamin Williams were motivated by financial greed for their part in a conspiracy to supply cocaine. Now, Stefy Bull helped guide the career of freeweight world champion Terry Harper, as well as the likes of Jamie McDonnell, Maxie Hughes, and Jason Cunningham. His real name, Andrew Bullcroft, of Cranemore Close in Harlington, denied the charge against him, but a jury delivered a unanimous guilty verdict after the 4-day trial. In this section of the article called Scant Mitigation, Judge Hampton said Bullcroft had since admitted his guilt and spoken of his remorse. He told him, the reality is you chanced your arm at trial, just as you chanced your arm at offending. The judge said he often played for high stakes in his boxing career and had done the same in the drugs world. He accepted the 48-year-old Bullcroft had changed lives in a positive way through boxing, and revealed he had been making constructive use of his time on remand, but told Bullcroft he had otherwise utterly betrayed his previous good work. You seek to blame your offending upon your financial circumstances at the time of the coronavirus lockdown period. I'm afraid, in my judgment, that's scant mitigation. You and Mr. Williams only have yourselves to blame. Well, 15% of a 10-year sentence, he's still got to do 8.5 years. That's a long bird, bro. That's a long bird.
Big number.
Yeah.
Do me a favour. Do me a favour. Do me a favour.
Okay, this upload looks like it's going to be about boxers when they're at their most dysfunctional. Hopefully we'll get to some boxers doing some boxing things. So, former professional boxer Richard Towers, now 46 years of age, his real name is Richard Hales, has pled guilty to conceive and controlling behaviour. Richard, based in Sheffield, left the game with a record of 15-1-0 with 12 inside the distance. In his biggest fight, he was stopped by the unbeaten Lucas Brown in 5. Now Richard is a big geezer, 6'8", has done jail time previously for torture and robbery. Allegedly he played no part in the torture. His ex-girlfriend told the court that Richard had left her in debt and he would torture her mind with insults, threats, and hours of lectures on how to be a woman. In court she said Richard controlled every aspect of her life, even the tiniest things, and made her believe that's just how a woman should be. In addition to his sentence, Towers, who used to be a heavyweight professional boxer and who has since worked as a boxing coach and has trained children, will also be subject to a 10-year restraining order. The court heard that Towers committed the offence during a suspended order for a firearms offence, that he had previous convictions, including involvement in the kidnap and torture of a man for $150,000 ransom in 2001. The victim was told she was emotionally unstable, hormonally imbalanced, and whenever she stood up for herself, Towers would tell her that she's being masculine. This is red pill. He frequently made degrading comments, calling his partner damaged, only good for sex, and telling her no one would want her with 3 children. The woman was left fearing for her life on numerous occasions, the court heard. Towers used veiled threats, referencing past court cases and people giving evidence against him, asking if she wanted to go down that route. Richard was a control freak, deciding what the family would eat or drink and controlling sleeping arrangements. He also left this woman, who was 38 at the time, in debt, resulting in the loss of her property in Rotherham. He would lecture her on how a woman should be, make her grade herself, and make her watch content from YouTuber Kevin Samuels. You know what was in my head? Is he's been watching this red pill shit, and now Kevin Samuels has been quoted. No shock at all. The language he was using, you're hormonally imbalanced, only good for sex, no one will want you with 3 children. He was very influenced by Kevin Samuels, who promotes traditional gender roles. At one point, he also made one of her children listen to the controversial British influencer Andrew Tate. He verbally abused them and told the child he would shoot them if they ever stood up for their mother. In evidence given to police, the child said they had developed a secret code with their mother to communicate during this period of abuse. The woman called Towers an evil, manipulating bully who had made her feel humiliated, guilty, isolated, and scared to leave him. She described how domestic violence does not always appear as cuts and bruises, but can involve a victim losing their sense of self-worth, leaving a dead look in the victim's eyes, and stripping their will to go about their day. I could read more of the woman's testimony, but we get the gist. He's been jailed for 3 years and 3 months. I mean, they were only together for 18 months. How did it get that bad? What kind of person forces a child to listen to Andrew Tate? Brainwashed. And this is the second or third time I've heard one of these content creators quoted in a case of a man abusing a woman. I'm not saying you shouldn't listen to it. It's how you interpret the talking points. It's no different than listening to gangster rap or what they call drill or trap music. Is it just entertainment for you? Or is it deeper than that? How far are you going to go in taking what they're rapping about into your actual life? I'll just say this and we'll wrap it up. Just because you're not being physical with the woman doesn't necessarily make it less of a crime. You could end up in jail. There was nothing said about him physically abusing the woman. This was him using that red pill content and regurgitating it consistently, and it's put him in prison. He probably thought as long as he's not hitting her, then nothing can happen to him. Well, he's found out now.
Do me a favour, do me a favour, do me a favour.